I know a lot of people out there aren't NBA fans, so this isn't an NBA conversation. But Victor Wembanyama, he will be the number one pick by, we now know, the San Antonio Spurs. And I have not seen this much hype for a basketball player since LeBron James. And I will be honest with you, when I was old enough, you might have been a little too young, but I was old enough, Caleb, to watch LeBron whole games. I wanted to have a really strong opinion on it. I think this guy is a considerably better prospect than LeBron James. And I know that sounds insane. But with that comes these huge expectations, and a lot of people will just jump to the next step, which is he's going to be a 6-time champion and an all-star. So we do that too with college football prospects in high school. So some of the top high school prospects that bombed out. Let me hear from the message board, whether it's your favorite school or someone else that you can remember. I'm going to start with a Tennessee guy, and then I'm going to go to a Georgia guy. But I can remember Brian Darden, and this might be before your time. Do you remember the name Brian Darden?
I learned from you and Fred White about Brian Darden.
Yeah, not only was he highly ballyhooed, but he showed up on campus, and in preseason camp, he looked like he was the man. I still don't completely understand what happened, but I remember Jimmy Himes saying that he was going to be the next great Tennessee tailback. He was a total bust. So that's one for Tennessee. D says Ronnie Pillows. I don't remember a Ronnie Pillows. What about you, Caleb? While I look up Ronnie Pillows, is there one that sticks out to you?
Well, there's a running back that sticks out to me that went to Tennessee that's not Brian Darden, and it was a little over a decade later, a guy by the name of Bryce Brown. And best player in the country. And
do you give him any sort, though, of pass because of the confusion of the program around him? I mean, he went on to play a couple of good years in the NFL.
He had like 2 semi-decent years, never saw any real success. I think that, I don't know. When he was a late commit, there just seemed a lot of things. You know more about, we were covering the team. There just seemed a lot of things surrounding Bryce Brown beyond just the confusion surrounding the program. I mean, again, it seemed a little devious, wasn't it, to commit a month late after signing day?
Yes.
Then, I don't know. There's just some weird things with him. Another one for me, I want the South Carolina guys to come. One guy I remember, and I don't know why he sticks out, but anybody remember Ricardo?
They're coming in left and right. Go ahead.
Anybody remember Ricardo Hurley?
I don't remember Ricardo Hurley. We got to vote for Harrison Bailey, the quarterback, Quincy Prigmore. Slick Shelley. Now, I will tell you this, Travis. I knew at the time that Slick Shelley was pretty far down on Tennessee's board. So that one was an incredible surprise to me, that he was one of the last receivers they would take. He just had a cool name and he looked slick. I mean, he was a long strider type of guy. So that one didn't surprise me. Here, I reached out to an SEC source that covers several different schools. So how about this? Mitch Mustain. That's a pretty big bust. And if you remember, he was at Springdale, Arizona, and he had 2 really highly rated players around him. One was a tight end, and then he had a running back, I believe, that was highly rated. They both had great careers and just busted out. Here's another one, LSU. So Mitch Mustain went to Arkansas, flamed out. Ryan Perlew, LSU. Who remembers that one?
I remember that. John Chavis couldn't figure him out in the 2007 SEC championship game. How many times have we heard that story?
Yeah, no, he's about the only one that couldn't figure him out. Now, there's a Georgia running back that I know that you know, and he was just, as many great running backs as they've had, he was supposed to be the best. Can anybody remember who I'm talking about?
Georgia running back.
Rhymes with Banks. Speaking of James Banks, was a big, huge bust because of his own ego. Jasper Sanks. Yeah, there you go, Elias. Jasper Sanks was supposed to be the next Herschel Walker. There was no doubt about it. So that was one. And I'm curious if you guys have any more, because listen, that's part of the fun of recruiting. We got so far yesterday down the path of the Emmanuel Okoye guy that Caleb, you said that he might contribute this year when we went into it thinking he was a project player. So it's fun to go down that path. The other one was Jonathan Congo. Was it? Am I pronouncing it?
Jonathan Congo.
Yeah, Jonathan Congo. So
okay,
somebody said,
let's be fair to Congo.
They hope that he's not that guy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, to be fair to Congo. See, I'm always friendly, and this is high school and college to the NFL. There's two types of bust to me. Or there's actually three types. There's one that they were just overvalued and not as good. That's rare. I actually think that's rarer than we give it credit for, but that does happen. Then there's two others that are more common. One, injury. Injury can be a factor. The other one, the one where I have no problem calling somebody a bust and I have no fun laughing at them, is when they self-sabotage. So James Banks, laugh at him all day. He ruined his own career and deserves everything that comes with that, because that was his fault for being so stupid. And no sympathy. But Congo, I give him a bit of a break, because if you remember, Butch Jones asked him to put on weight to move him into the middle at defensive tackle, slowed him down. Pruitt comes, moves him back to edge rusher, but he couldn't trim down the weight he had put on, and then he suffered a season-ending injury.
Yeah, it's probably kind of a tweener either way. Elias says it's a who's who of the Kiffin class for bust. It is. They had more felons than first-team All-SEC players in that class. That's not a joke. I mean, if you want to go back and count them up.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a guy who murdered somebody. So that's bad. That was a big reach class. But we do get excited, and this Victor Wembanyama is exciting. Is exciting to watch. But so
he's not a better prospect than LeBron James, by the way.
I think he is.
He can't pass. He can't pass to save his life. All you got to do is double team him and turn it over every time.
LeBron couldn't shoot and still can't.
Yeah, but LeBron's so big he can drive to the basket. Victor Wembanyama has the same problem Kevin Durant has, and it's going to be the same problem in the NBA, which is if you ever double team Kevin Durant, he is a deer in headlights. He's a complete waste once you put two guys on him.
Well, but Kevin Durant's one of the top 5 players of all time. Victor Wembanyama is not a bust if he's one of the top 5.
Kevin Durant's not top 10.
He is top 10.
No,
Come
he's
on.
not top 10. No, he's not. The thing is, have you ever noticed you double team Kevin Durant, there's somebody open, and Kevin Durant ain't smart enough to find the open guy. Never does. He won 2 titles because he was on a loaded team that had like shooters all over the place, and he got 1 MVP. But I think Kevin Durant, again, you got to be able to be a semi-decent passer. And Victor Wembanyama is a horrible passer. He has horrible court vision.
Did you see how many bad shots LeBron took in game 1 because he wants to be a 3-point shooter? I'm not saying Victor Wembanyama is going to be LeBron. Chances are he won't have the drive and he won't have the health. But looking at those two dudes coming out of high school, period, into discussion, not knowing what happens, I think Wembanyama is a transitional, generational type of talent. And turns out LeBron has been as well. But I thought LeBron was very, very good Magic. And I think Wembanyama is a different player altogether. Like, I think he is.
Wembanyama just be a better Kevin Durant?
No, I think he's better than that. I mean, just as a prospect, I'm not saying he will be better. Okay, please don't hold me to this. But like Michael Vick, to me, he's like Michael Vick. Michael Vick came in, or Randall Cunningham to go even back further, and he changed the way the game was played. I think you're going to see that out of this kid as long as he's healthy. But man, he does need to go to a buffet. You guys are absolutely right. And then, yeah, but